You ever see one of those anti-smoking ads that just stops you in your tracks? Or maybe a campaign that actually gets you to eat more veggies? Well, those messages, they're not just random shots in the dark. They are a science. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the art and science of public health communication. We're going to look at what makes those messages designed to keep us healthy actually work. And it all starts with a surprisingly common mistake. So first up, we're going to tackle a huge challenge that public health experts face right out of the gate. It all kicks off with a name that, honestly, feels like it was designed to be confusing. Seriously, what on earth is an NCD? If that acronym means absolutely nothing to you, hey, you're not alone. This is a term that gets thrown around all the time by professionals, but for most of us, it's just confusing jargon. And that confusion, that's the very first wall you hit when you're trying to communicate effectively. And here is the core of the problem. This is a classic communication fail. The term non-communicable disease defines something by what it isn't. Think about that. It just means it's not infectious. That's a negative. And it makes it an incredibly difficult and, let's be real, a pretty boring concept for people to connect with. So let's just clear this up right now. When the experts are talking about NCDs, what they're really talking about are things we all know. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes. See, all of a sudden, it's crystal clear. Nobody goes around saying, I have an NCD. They say, I have diabetes. Using specific, clear language is always more powerful. And look, this isn't just some academic exercise in picking the right words. Getting the message right is a really high-stakes game. Effective communication is a powerful tool that can and absolutely does save lives. So what is this field exactly? Well, public health communication is a true science. You should think of it as this cool mashup of marketing, a little bit of psychology, and behavioral science, all aimed at one single goal: making the public healthier by sharing information that actually sticks. I love this because it shows you the amazing ripple effect of a great campaign. It's like climbing a ladder of change, right? It all starts with one little spark, the right message. That message raises awareness. Then it builds knowledge, and then it starts to shape our attitudes. From there, it can actually motivate people to take action, which leads to real changes in behavior. And when enough of us climb that ladder together, that can shift entire social norms and even influence government policy. It's powerful stuff. So, what's the secret sauce here? How do they do it? Let's dig into the core principles, the rules of engagement, if you will, for creating messages that really hit home and lead to all that change we were just talking about. Okay, this comparison is so important. For the longest time, a lot of health messaging was really paternalistic. That doctor knows best kind of finger-wagging approach. But what we've learned is that just doesn't work very well. What does work is empowering people, using positive language, and shining a spotlight on the immediate benefits, those little quick wins. It's about switching from a one-way expert monologue to a two-way conversation. And it means using simple, clear language. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the difference between talking at people and talking with them. Here's a classic. Smoking kills. It's direct, it's factual, and it definitely uses fear. And you know what? It can be incredibly impactful. There is absolutely a place for this kind of direct messaging, but it's just one tool in a much bigger toolbox. Now, let's flip that on its head. Kiss a non-smoker, enjoy the difference. This is tackling the exact same issue, smoking, but from a completely different angle. It's positive, it's aspirational, and it focuses on a real, tangible benefit. It just goes to show you how reframing an issue can be just as persuasive, and sometimes even more so. Okay, so let's say you've crafted the absolute perfect message. Well, that amazing message is totally useless if it doesn't get to the right people. Because a great strategy isn't just about what you say, it's about who you're saying it to. This is how the pros map out their audience. Let's imagine a campaign to get more people to cycle. You've got your champions, right? The die-hard cyclists who are already on board. Then you have your blockers, the people who are actively against it, who think cyclists are a menace. And then you have these quieter groups, the silent boosters, who maybe own a bike but never use it, and the avoiders, who just could not care less. Obviously, one single message is not going to work for all four of those groups. And here is the really brilliant part. The strategy isn't just to preach to your choir, to your champions. No, it's a game of movement. You engage your champions to keep their energy up. You try to lower the energy of your blockers to turn them into more passive avoiders. And then you work to move people up that ladder of agreement. You turn avoiders into silent boosters, and you help those silent boosters become your new active champions. It's such a dynamic and smart way to think about it. Of course, all of this strategy now plays out on a totally new field of battle, the wild world of modern media. And social media in particular has changed everything, for better and for worse. I mean, on one hand, the opportunities are just huge. We're talking about a global reach of billions of people, often for pennies compared to old school media. Social media can create these incredible, supportive communities. It empowers people to manage their own health, and it turns a passive audience into active participants. It's truly revolutionary. But, and this is a really big but, the risks are just as massive. Those same platforms that can spread good information are also fire hoses for misinformation and so-called fake news. You have this constant flood of high and low quality content all mixed together, and it's getting harder and harder for regular people to tell the difference. This creates a monumental challenge for public health in the 21st century. So where does that leave us? It brings us to this final, crucial question. In this new digital age, where a sensational lie can travel around the globe before a carefully researched truth can even get its shoes on, can the right message, the true message, still win the day? That is the central question for the future of public health, and it's something for all of us to really think about.